Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Martins here with your outlook for December 21st, 2017. For your Thursday, going to remain cold today, and that's because we still have a piece of that trough that came in yesterday that's going to be hanging with us today, and actually will be a little bit chillier than it was yesterday by a few degrees. Not much, just a few. But we have high pressure that's going to be pretty much sitting on top of the area, at least for during the daylight hours today. So expect mostly sunny skies for the good duration of the daylight hours today. And then as that high moves off to the east, we're going to have partly cloudy skies this evening that's going to be replaced by mostly cloudy skies because we're going to have a warm front that's going to be approaching the region from the southwest. And you can see that here as we move forward. Here's the evening hours, partly cloudy, high pressures off to the east. And then we have this warm front. It's going to be off to our north. We're not expecting much, if any, precipitation with it. We will have to watch the far northern counties for something very, very light. And this is right near the Pennsylvania-New York border, but it would just be a light wintry mix because this is a warm front, so warm air advection would not promote snow typically. So this is especially being that far south of the front. So I think anything that happens would be very light, as seen here. You can see the far northern counties. This would be Susquehanna, Bradford, Tioga, those kind of places up there. For something very light, but it will be just a light wintry mix, maybe some sleet, pellets, something like that, but very light. So then this warm front moves off to the north, and here is the rest of Friday. For the rest of us here, we're going to be probably overcast the entire day. I don't think you see much, if any, sun at all, and I do think that we remain mostly cloudy to overcast the entire day for the entire coverage area here on Friday, but I don't expect any precipitation to come in until we get to the nighttime hours, and even that's going to be light initially. You can see that here. This is going to be, when I say precipitation, I'm talking rain. This is going to be too warm for anything other than rain for the Friday system, Friday into Saturday. And matter of fact, Saturday we're going to have a surge of warmth out ahead of this warm front, out of this in front of the cold front that's going to be pushing toward the area. That's going to get temperatures really pumped up here. Here is a Saturday morning and afternoon. So Saturday morning, before this rain really starts coming in here, you're going to have winds coming out of the south or south-southwest, and it's going to be getting temperatures up here quite high, well into the 50s in many locations, but a few areas down in our southeastern areas might hit 60 or above. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens at all down in those areas. Matter of fact, we're forecasting pretty close to that down in the Philadelphia metro area. So we will have this cold front move through. This is just a rain system because it's so warm, and that is, of course, Saturday. This is not Christmas Eve. Okay, so this rain comes through, and most of it's going to fall late afternoon Saturday into overnight, but you will have some lighter stuff earlier before that. But it's looking like mid to late afternoon through at least the first part of the overnight, and then this system moves away. High pressure attempts to build in. Now this is for Sunday. This is Christmas Eve. Nothing going on yet, but you see this front that's off to our south. Now the big question all week has been, where does this boundary set up? Okay, and will there be a wave of low pressure that forms along this boundary? We do think it does. However, you also have this one up here. This is another low, another 850 millibar low that's going to be cutting up to our northwest. It will eventually merge with this one, we think. And we're not using the GFS guidance that is way, way progressive and flat and offshore. I think that is completely wrong. Not impossible, but we're not going with that with the forecast right now. So this is the European model looking. You see where that boundary is right here. So it is marginally cold across our region. You can see the 32-degree line here. This blue line here represents a 32-degree line. This is anything north of that is 32 or less. So anything south of there is not. It's going to be warm. Not going to be much warmer, but it'll be warmer nonetheless. So we're going to have a chance for snow up in the far northern areas. And again, we are one low off to our northwest, and that's right here, and in northwestern Pennsylvania or eastern Great Lakes. And then you have another low forming right on the front right here. It's going to transfer its energy to this low down here. Now, depending on how quickly that happens, will determine who gets snow in our coverage area. Right now, we're just favoring north central. The mountains of central Pennsylvania, north central Pennsylvania, and also at least northern and mountainous regions of northeast Pennsylvania for some light snow. And we're not talking about a big storm here, maybe like a 1 to 3, 2 to 4, but this is, of course, Christmas Eve that we're looking at right here. So that'll be a very festive time for those guys up there. Elsewhere, you're just dealing with showers. And a reason for that is when you have an 850 low cutting to your west like this, you have a counterclockwise flow around it like this. Okay. So winds are coming in from the southwest, and this is west of us. So it's coming in from the southwest. Well, if you have a southwesterly wind, that is not conducive for snow. Okay, so this is warm air it's bringing in. Even though the cold fronts move through, synoptically it's bringing warm air here in the mid-levels, and so therefore you get temperatures that are going to be not conducive for snowfall and above 32. If this can take over quicker, this one right here, this coastal low gets this transfer quicker, it will counteract that. And of course, winds are going around here like this on this low, so it can counteract that. And if this low becomes more powerful than this one quicker, the winds will come out of the northeast. If winds are coming out of the northeast, that's a different story. Then this cold air will be able to bleed south and you get more areas involved in snow. So again, not a big deal here as far as overall snow accumulations. This is not a big storm. It doesn't look like it's going to be a big storm, at least not for our area. But you can see as this thing eventually phases and moves together, two merge together over near southern or Long Island or southern Connecticut. They kind of join up here, but it's a little bit too late for our region, except for maybe some wraparound stuff right at the very end. So you could have like even those areas that that did have some rain might change over to snow right at the very tail end. Not a big deal because it's just at the tail end, back end stuff. That's it. As this system wraps up here in New England, so they're going to get a heck of a storm up here. It looks like once this thing consolidates. If that consolidates further down here, like if it were to consolidate right here, our area would be in for a bigger event, and for areas further south, not just northeastern Pennsylvania and not just north central and central Pennsylvania. So this is their going forecast right now. Still subject to change. Still things can happen with this. So I don't want you to think, oh, great, well, I'm limited to Philadelphia, I'm done. Well, not necessarily. Not necessarily. We'll just wait and see what happens through this trend. Still is 5 days away, and things can certainly trend, or 4 to 5 days. Things can certainly trend in that direction. I'm using the European model to illustrate. And then once we get past this point, the rest of Monday starts clearing out. Okay, so you have a kind of a wintry mix in the morning, and then it clears out the rest of the day. So the whole day is not a wash. And then we get into Tuesday and Wednesday. We're going to be partly cloudy, partly to mostly sunny, I should say, with high pressure move back in. But it's going to be brutal. Temperatures knocking out of the 20s for the entire coverage area, looks like, for both for early next week, for in the middle of next week at least. I think actually looking at things beyond that, we only do 7-day forecast, but if you look beyond that, it looks like it's going to stick around for a while. Very cold temperatures that are going to be below freezing for highs, and certainly below 30 for highs, stuck in the 20s. For at least Tuesday and Wednesday, probably beyond that. So that's what we have going on. Again, keep tracking with us, and we'll update this every day and give you a new update. See what this looks at. We're not at the point where we have to make any kind of snow maps now or alert the public or anything like that. We are discussing in the premium forum. So if you don't want to discuss it with us, it will be in there. We're not going to do that publicly until something is imminent, and we are far from imminent right now. We still have to figure out where and when and how much and all that stuff yet. So that will come this week, and we'll have an update again tomorrow morning with the next forecast video for Friday. I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Marchers. That is your outlook for December 21st, 2017. Have a great Thursday.